Well, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Checking In with your boy. Today we're going to provide a little bit of an update on where we're at with the project so far. I've written a lot. I modeled everything for the a majority of it. Have some fantastic fun ideas onto in the middle of my not so preferred step, but it's all good. I'm having fun trying to keep this thing moving, keep it pushing, figure out how I can build a system that allows me to interchange and swap out shells on almost the same chassis. And I want to do that for like production reasons, to keep production very simple for when we actually go to animate this. So let's jump into where I'm at and get some updates. I just wanted to give you kind of some reasoning, some fun inside scoops. I had a blast. This is tuning up to be one of my favorite projects. It's so much fun to mix in everything I love all in once. And I know I've said that a million times in the past couple of videos, but it still like gets me excited. So I want to review some of the key elements that I absolutely adore about this car. Something I wanted to do was to bring authenticity on the very small details. Something that I have always consistently, it's just known as that most of the time your front wheels are definitely different than your rears, because your rears you're constantly changing in between runs, and then also sometimes, like when you're starting to drift out, when you're starting drifting, you don't have the most money. At least I did. So you kind of have whatever wheels you can find, and what I did back then, I would pick up pairs and try to literally scrounge up anything that worked. So I wanted to specifically have some type of Rhoda-esque feel, or maybe Rhodoform. I think I had these on my Civic, ironically. And then some nice wheels in the back, like maybe he could only afford to get decent wheels for his rears at this moment. So small little details like that. And then also something in addition to like building in the wheels, like it's like my man's running spacers in a sense, and it's a lot of fun. So something I also wanted to do was not go too crazy, but I definitely wanted to build a suspension system to be shown in certain scenarios. Like if he were to drift off a bump that lifts the car a little bit, I want you to be able to see those details, and like the diff and the drive shaft, the lower control arms, etc. So I wanted to make sure I at least had those elements in here. I kept it very simple. That's the one thing I wanted to make sure that this stuff didn't have too complex of a system just for workflow, because I want to go kind of full tilt with this one. And if I were to spend a lot of time in details of something that I know we're not going to see a lot of, like for example, if we were to like seeing just this enough, like if he's ever getting his car worked on or swapping out his tires, like that is just enough of what I want to see. Anything more or less would have been but also like I wanted to make sure that if he lost his bumper, he's covered. Like we're not going to be seeing bad geometry or unfinished parts. So I tried to cover as much as I could. And originally, I'm gonna shoot all over the place for like what I want to cover. But originally I didn't have my Naven wing, and I don't know why I didn't. I was just like an original choice. I was like, yeah, I don't want to put a wing on it. But then when I was going through the texturing process, I was like, you know what, it needs it. So I actually modeled in the wing that's on my 240 right now. Technically, this has been on my car almost the entire time. And then for like motor, it's just like a fun joke that probably won't ever be shown. I literally just put a long block in there just to have literally fun that he's running a long block. I wanted to put in a motor, and like one day I will build out a full motor, because I think like a hoodless event or an opportunity for going hoodless would be fun. Like maybe it's a super hot day and he's like, I'm dying, and then they just take off the hood and it's like super cool and he's chilling and it's all details are built out. But for now, I just was like, let's keep it moving. I think it's funny to have just literally a block inside his car, because no one will ever see it in a sense, but we all know it'll be there. Something I learned in this process was to build out, and I did this with my last few projects, but here I tried to limit the amount that I was doing, as far as the amount of lenses I was creating, because something that I like doing is creating literal glass lenses for objects that I know they're going to have transparency, because for a transparent object to share a texture, sometimes it just doesn't work for me. I find that if it's a separate object, I'm able to control the transparency and emission of that specific object, and then focus in on like the trim, because like originally I had the lens and the trim, this kind of like here, like this is window and trim, and I have that all one object. The reason I didn't do it that way on this is because I want to be able to see through, so I can see the eyes of the character. And what that does is just creates a better, it creates fun shadows and very small crevices. So that's why I built it that way. And then the mouth, bumpers, I really want to keep simple. That way, one, they're interchangeable. As far as like, let's say an S14 platform is concerned, like I can take this mouth and face, I can apply it to multiple different versions of him. Like I can add canards and that's a different character. I can add a lip and that's a different character. But for as far as the base bumper, I just wanted to keep it super simple. And yeah, I'm super happy with it. Like I think it's fun. There's a lot of parts I integrated some of the stuff I have on my car, and then I also included like stuff I either want or feel that it was like it was fun to build into the narrative. Like the wheels more so than anything. Like these are not the final wheels. I just felt like they're good for this certain season, this beginning stages. Threw on 326 side skirt that I have on my car now, which was fun. Hood, roof wing, and then added a sunroof as well. I wanted to make sure that I was trying to capture all these little details of my car as much as I can, and also keep it super clean as far as how much to digest when looking at this character, looking at this car. Like I don't want this main character to be absolutely ballin'. Like I want his counter partners. Like so a built-in narrative is I'm going to have Lena as a character, and it's literally going to be his sister, but his sister is going to be, in a sense, like well established, already drifting. She'll be baller. Like I have super excited. I have some cool ideas for how I want to approach Lena, and just like have some fun. Like that's where I'm gonna go real ballin'. But for him, I want him super simple, clean. Closing in my and if I haven't said it already, this is just I'm trying to maintain consistent updates while continuing to push as hard as I can, because this takes me a lot of effort, takes me a lot of time. I enjoy it, and I usually would get wrapped up and not want to share process, I just wanted to worry about the work and just consistently push. So I'm trying to do my best to cut out or carve out a few hours out of the day to be able to share where I'm at, and as far as the process is concerned. So this isn't like a full start to finish breakdown. I'm just gonna give you incremental updates as I make progress and move forward with the project. Scooby. So and again, So for the colors, of course, I wanted to go with like my OG, my car's red. And for the wheels, I don't know if you guys, my first year of drifting, I don't think when I, like the very first time, but the first full year of drifting, when I first started, I had these, I forget what wheels they were, but they were 6-spoke black wheels up front, and then I would rock whatever I had in the back. I think I was like MST wheels at the time, or something along the lines, maybe it was Rotas. And for here, I wanted to make sure the front wheels were black for sure. And for the rear wheels, I was playing around, and my buddy, I remember my buddy Alec had neon yellow / green wheels on his red 886, and like it looked, I think he had it, if I'm not mistaken, and it looked really good. And I was just playing around with colors, and like sometimes with like color palette, for me, I just kind of like play around and see what looks good. And especially when it comes to these wheels, like having it this project be about cars, all the colors are so flexible. Like I can write in that he swaps out those wheels as soon as he gets to the track. So if like I don't like the decision, I'm trying not to harp on the decision of what color certain elements are, and other things, we're just staying true to exactly what my car is. Like my engine base, that pink with like, I included like little dings and dents because it's like, that's what happens. You just trash your stuff. And as far as the headlights concerned, headlights took me a while to figure out how I wanted to do it, because something, I'm trying to build in the perfect workflow for me right now. And like, that's actually an image map of an actual headlight and corner light. And I was able to create my UV map to kind of accommodate that look, which I think it came out pretty good. Like honestly, like I did that for the front and rears. The rears are harder to see in this software, but in Blender, I was able to, let me rotate the sun. Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to see here, but the rear is done the exact same way. And we'll go back and we'll go into Blender as well. You'll be able to see how it kind of looks different, and why it looks different is, like I said, transparency and transmissive materials interpret differently based upon the program sometimes. And here I just wanted to get I played around for many days trying to get these headlights and taillights right, and I think I'm happy with them in Blender, which is ultimately what really matters the most, because that is what I'm going to be animating and rendering in. So at least as of right now, I have 2 ideas for when the show starts and when I start to create it. I'm actually going to, I wanted to add in this tire dirt rubbish on the rear, kind of to represent how our cars what our cars look like after drifting or midway drifting. But I am going to remove that to start the show. That way I want to represent that this happens over time. Like I don't want it to I don't want him to go to the meet, or not the meet, but the event with the super dirty or worn car, because I want that to be built into the story. But can I say hi? Oh, look over there. Huh? Over there.
This
say hello.
Cheese to the camera. He doesn't see it. It's right here.
Yes.
Cheese.
I want to.
So we should go back to comment of the video. I was watching Ryan's old OG vlogs, and we used to do that. So leave a comment and we'll give you a shout out.
Shout outs. I kind of forget where I was. So yeah, I just it was super fun trying to build in all these textures, especially with like the brakes. I wanted to make sure that they had some oxidation, some rust, and just kind of give you an overall feel. Like my goal is to, like, I always state where I get my references from. Like, of course it's cars, of course it's like that like Disney feel, but I want to interpret and bring my own interpretations, or my own style into it. So some of these choices are just loose choices. I was like, you know what, let me try this. It's trial and error, and I am super happy with the outcome. I think it does look relatively fantastic, if I don't say so myself. And just quick review, kind of, I threw on the backdrop of the last project. Like, this road is actually from the last project, and definitely most likely not going to use it. I have to build so much, which is going to be an amazing experience, because I have to build literally everything from scratch. The track, I have a fun idea that, like, on this initial pilot episode, that he is forced to drift on, because I was conflicted. I was like, do I do a sick road course, or do I keep it true to kind of where we all start? We all start on the skid pad, and we all start in a very accomplishable track, which is usually a skid pad. And one of my concepts is to have him, it's going to be set up almost a mirror to Northeast Drift Co., where I had my first event at, was it New Hampshire Speedway, I think it's called? New Hampshire Speedway, if I get that wrong, my bad. And the road course is on the left, but the skid pad's on the right, and I kind of have a cool concept. And of course I'm going to reimagine certain elements of it, but he like goes through like an underpass, and then comes up a hill, and he sees this beautiful road course, and he's just like, one day dreams about drifting on the road course. It's a NASCAR track there, but whatever. That's like I'm gonna mix like Ready Set Drift South Course with Nedco, and just kind of like make my own version of both. And it's like he's looking over and he's like, I can't wait to one day drive on the road course. And then he starts his day. It's a skid pad day, which is cool, because I think it's true. Like, I want to keep this authentic to a lot of our experiences, at least my experience, exactly what I went through. So here it is in Blender. There's a couple things that I still have questions about, but you can see the taillights here better. You see how technically it looks a lot better. I still have to build in how I want them to get bright, in a sense of this is not done, but I'll show you where. Sheet editor. So you can see I just have a transmissive material, but then I have them like the materials where I can turn on the brake lights, but it's not done really to where I want it to be. So yeah, overall super pumped, super happy, super proud, honestly. Like, I keep learning every project I do, which is so important. Like, I try my best not to get upset on where I want to be and what I think I should be doing right now, and just embrace the true season of my life, enjoying trying to get better every day. Like, I feel like the materials, though they're simple, they're absolutely perfect for me. Like, something I truly love is, like, we know that sometimes half our car is kind of rattle canned, and some of it's OEM paint, some of it's professional paint, sometimes it's repaint, and it looks like a little bit of serendipity. It looks like the hood and front bumpers resprayed, but it kind of looks like it's been resprayed, which is so sick. Like, that's exactly what I want, because like, I don't want it to look brand new. I want it to look like my car, like our cars. Like, sometimes they're not, like, it kind of looks like the doors like rattle canned. super fun. Next steps are to get it rigged. Rigging is the one thing that I am still trying to figure out, still trying to learn. And I know how to rig basics. Like, I know how to rig a character if I need to, like a normal character. I know how to rig a creature. I know how to rig a vehicle. But when it's a creature character-esque vehicle, I'm trying to figure out how in the world to get this rigged properly. Like, because it needs to have a vehicle rig on top of a character rig, and that's something that I've been playing around had a few attempts at and been unsuccessful, but I'll figure it out one of these days. I just got to keep picking at it. So just wanted to give you an overall update. Like, again, super proud, super pumped. I'm ready to keep going. I have I'm going to be doing a short trailer. Like, once it's rigged, I'm going to build the environment. Once the environment's built, I'm going to make a very short trailer, like a 25-30 second trailer. And then from there, I'm going to start developing the actual show with new characters and or additional characters. So I have an idea on this first trailer. I'm super excited. I'm just gonna almost reenact some of my previous events. It's not going to be. It's more so like a fast forward. It's not going to be like in line with how the story starts. But super excited. We're gonna be building definitely 36s. I'm excited for like a 350Z. I don't know why. Like recently, I've been really enjoying a 350Z, and I've always liked them, but definitely gonna have a 350Z in there. I'm gonna do just a bunch of cars, just some fun, exciting, of course, 240s, a Datsun, some Datsuns, like a 240Z, and then I want to do a 510 because that's gonna be their parents, which is super fun. I'm in the middle of developing everything at the same time. And one thing I did do, and it's a very, very rough start, is I started developing the name of the show and the logo. I don't know if I want to show it yet because it's still early on, but my idea for the name is something super simple and something that is easy to just understand, like not too complex. And also one of the things I love the best is when typography fits in the narrative. And so this is what I'm working on right now, like jumping a million steps, but like I'm thinking about, and it's fun because this is all CG, which is perfect. I'm thinking about naming the show Go Cars. Kind of, and my buddy actually, I was like, yo, what name comes to your mind? And my buddy this is one of his first ideas. He was like, it's like go-karts, of course, but it's like Go Cars. And then I love about this is how it fits so well together, how the cars kind of falls into the like the actual pattern of the wheel. Like I feel like it plays really well. And one of my absolute favorites is how it kind of represents like a little smiley face, which is, I personally love for kids. Like I think that's such a cool idea. I'm not totally set on this as the final whatsoever, but I'm gonna continue to just keep pushing, keep developing everything. It's just, this is all super early concept stuff. And yeah, like right now I'm just developing and confirming that the actual materials look good, and trying to see how like light shines through the transmissive materials that it created. Does it have underglow? What color is the underglow, etc. So super early stages. So proud of where it's only been like, this took me a week to make, which is sick. And so yeah, overall super happy, guys. Like I said, I'm probably missing so much, but I love you guys. Happy freaking Tuesday. I'm gonna go edit this and get it out tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your love and support. I'm gonna continue pushing and trying to stay happy and excited and just moving forward to the ultimate goal. All right, guys, holla at your boy, son. Happy freaking Tuesday. I'll catch you on the next one. We're gonna make some progress. Probably next time I'm gonna develop the track environment and start to get another car, and definitely have it rigged by then. I hope so. All right, guys, I love you guys. I'll let your boy, son.